Hello everybody, Rabbi Mordechai Zeller. I'm from Ma'ale Gilboa. I live on the kibbutz. I'm here in Tzfat where I work. I'm still considered essential for the economy, so I'm just taking off my mask to make this. I work at the psychiatric ward, and as you can see, the beautiful Kinneret behind me. I don't know if you can see or not. And I just would like to share a couple of thoughts that I had about an amazing experience that I was privileged to take part in. I was part of a group of rabbis, young rabbis, who came to New York about a month ago before all this craziness took over. And we came to New York because we're part of a group thinking about what it means to be a communal rabbi, what it means to the different parts of Am Yisrael that are spread out everywhere. And in Israel, to be a rabbi, you learn a lot of halacha. But we came to New York, we came to Yeshivat Chovevei Torah to be able to hear a bit more about the rabbinic training and about some of the ideas of what it means to be a rabbi, not just here in Israel, but also over the sea in the United States. And it was an amazing, amazing 10 days, and we learned so much. I just want to share one thing that really struck me that I'm left thinking about. And there's a story that's told, Yud Lamed Peretz tells about the Rebbe from Nemirov, who one day, was slichot and he didn't show up to shul. And everybody in shul, his Hasidim, were saying, "Oh my gosh, our Rebbe didn't come. He must be in the upper world learning with Eliyahu and Navi," or whatever it is. But there was one person who was a bit of a doubter, a misnagid, and he said, "I don't believe it. He's probably just sleeping late." But when all the Hasidim spoke so highly about him, he said, "I'm going to hide outside of his house and see, is he coming? Is he going somewhere else? Why doesn't he come to shul?" So he hides, and at about 4 o'clock in the morning, suddenly he sees the rabbi leaving his home. But he's not dressed like a rabbi. He's dressed like just like a woodcutter. And he's there holding his axe. He goes to the middle of the forest, starts cutting wood. Then he comes to a house in the middle of the forest, and the house is about to fall, and he knocks on the door and says, "This is Ivan the woodcutter. I'm here to sell wood." And there's an old woman who's sick, says, "I have no money, and it's so cold, and I wish I could get your wood, but I can't pay you." And he says, "Don't worry about it. You can pay me when you can." He comes in, he starts a fire for her, and when he's done, he goes back home. And this whole time, this person who was doubting him was watching that he was doing something completely different. He expected a rabbi to go to shul, but instead he was doing something else. He was helping a person out. And the next day when he's at shul and the Hasidim started saying, "Our Rebbe, he's the highest, he's in the upper worlds." So this person said, "If not higher than that. If not higher than that." This is a story by Yud Lamed Peretz. And when we heard a story about Rabbi Weiss, I'd like to kind of reflect and maybe connect between these two. When 9/11 happened, when the attack on the Twin Towers, then everybody at Riverdale Shul were standing around waiting for Rabbi Weiss, but they weren't really waiting because he didn't show up. But here, it's not that they didn't know where he was. Everybody knew where he was. And he appeared 3 days later. His clothes were filled with soot, and he probably didn't sleep for a couple days. And he took one of his young rabbis with him down to ground zero, down to just go around hugging people, saying to them, "Who are you? What do you need? I'm a rabbi. I'm here to support you. I'm here to be with you." And I was blown away by his understanding of what it means to be a rabbi. And who are your community? Who are the people that you service? We think that we give service to the people who pay us our wages, who come to shul, who are inside our walls, who we need to go and meet them. And Rabbi Weiss, I was so moved by his understanding that there's times that we are called by another force and other people who need us maybe even more than the ones who are waiting for us at shul. And I can't help think about Reb Isaac Luria, who was the great mystic who lived here in Tzfat. If you go to shul in the middle of the old city of Tzfat and the tour guides show you the synagogue, it's a beautiful synagogue. There wasn't a synagogue in the time of the Ari. In the time of Reb Isaac Luria, it was a field. He took his students out. He said, "Get out of shul. If you want something meaningful to happen, something spiritual to happen, don't stay inside your shul. Go out. Go out." So this is orthodoxy for you. We built 4 walls to commemorate where Reb Isaac Luria tried to breaking those walls down. And I just was left thinking. We left just as this coronavirus plague was spreading all over the place. And I'm left thinking, who are the people that need rabbis now? We can't go around hugging people. We need to keep a bit of a distance. But I'm wondering, who are the people that need us at this moment, but we don't know how to reach out to them? Maybe we need to do what Rabbi Weiss did. and go out and find those people who don't have a rabbi and say, we're here to be with you? How can we reach out to those people? Where do we find them? Who are the people that make me into a rabbi, and who are the people that I'm committed to, who I don't even know that they might need me? And I'm left reflecting upon this, thinking about this, and wondering, as I'm watching people davening outside of the synagogues closing down, but people looking out to their streets to find spirituality, people looking in Facebook, people looking in their computers, and those windows that take us beyond our homes into a wider world. How can we stand there in this wider community and find those people? And maybe not dress in our regular rabbi clothing, maybe take us not just to the higher worlds, but even higher than that, like Rabbi Weiss did, like the Rebbe in Nemirov and Yud Lamed Peretz, this story. And I feel that this trip to me has been humbling. Usually rabbis go to Israel, Ki mitzion tetzeh Torah, we come to teach. But here, we just came to learn a little bit more about how to do the best job in being rabbis and in working together with all of Am Yisrael in our seen and unseen communities.